Hello, good evening. It's Paul Bergin again from the Mars Hill blog, which you can find at www.paulbergin, that's paulburgin.blogspot.co.uk. Continuing my series on political heroes, people who not just my heroes, but people I think helped change the society we're in for the better. And today I'm looking at William Wilberforce. Now, Wilberforce was from a wealthy family. He became a member of Parliament as a young man, and I believe he was, let's get this right, he was MP for Kingston upon Hull. I'm slightly reading this, so, cheating slightly, but Kingston upon Hull, then Yorkshire, then Bramber. And he was an MP until the mid-1820s. He became converted to becoming a Christian, an evangelical Christian, from the mid-1780s. He told his friend, the Prime Minister, William Pitt the Younger, that he did not feel called to ministerial or government office. He remained a backbench MP. But in saying that, he became one of the most powerful politicians of his time, yet without holding office. In his faith, newfound faith, he was looking round and he was appalled at the way society was, seeing it with new eyes. And he put forward two massive proposals that he felt would change society, two aims. One, the reformation of manners, which even looking round today still hasn't happened. That's clearly far more difficult. But the more pernicious and the more evil of the two, he did to a certain extent, and that was the abolition of slavery in both Britain and the colonies. If you were from an African country, you were kidnapped and sold to slavery, goodbye to your former life forever. You were put on a ship, you were all chained line by line by line at the bottom of the ship, literally like animals. There was no personal space. Many fell ill, died, were thrown overboard, or if you survived the journey, you were then sold in a marketplace either in the West Indies or when they had the colonies in North America, and then your whole life depended on the generosity of your slave owner, and that's a matter of opinion. And you had a life of horrid drudgery, either cutting cane or making cotton. And sorry, it's just said a 10-minute battery thing, so I've got to be careful here. And that was it. And Wilberforce, when he first brought this bill to Parliament, was almost laughed out. But year in, year out, he came back again to put forward this bill. During the French Revolution and the war with France, he was seen as a traitor by many because he kept badgering on this issue when it was seen as affecting the morale of the country and with concentrating fighting France. But he had friends who were in the arts and in writing and others who also shared his views, and they put their views forward. And Wilberforce did his in Parliament. He led some of the campaigns, and eventually in 1806, they were getting to 1807, the year after Pitt died, a bill passed where slavery was illegal in Britain, but it was still allowed in the colonies. That ended in 1833 in a bill in the Commons, and Wilberforce was by then terminally ill and he was literally dying, and they rushed everything through and the person to bring the message to Wilberforce so that he would know before he died what had been achieved. And indeed he did hear, and among his last words were, "To think I've lived to see the time when Britain would give up £25 million sterling on a moral issue, or words to that effect. He then lapsed into a coma and died. Incredible guy. He took an issue and went with it for years. When he first took on the issue, John Wesley, in one of his last letters, wrote to Wilberforce saying, "I wish you well, but if you're doing this of God, you will go places. If this is of you, don't even try starting." And he faced difficulty and ridicule, and it took years, literally years, but he managed. And obviously we're many, so much gratitude, and so good today. And yes, so that's William Wilberforce.